I did that yesterday. I gotta wake up. Sorry, y'all. But please hit that subscribe button, and thumbs up the video. And also, if you feel like donating anything to Valentine TV, please do so. I put my Cash App up because I can't do super chats yet until I get to 1,000 subscribers. So I put my Cash App up for the ones that may like to help me. Help Valentine TV, which is helping me to help you get better content. Y'all, as y'all can see, I'm trying. I'm on the computer now. I ain't doing that flip phone thing. Okay. So I'm trying. I'm learning all by myself. So anyway, the reaction is coming from Tough News TV. He's going to be speaking about Tory Lanez, and Suge Knight, and Kim Porter's on here. Rest in peace. And, Diddy, Cassie, just a lot. So, without further ado, here's the video.
What's going on, y'all, and happy Thursday. I hope everybody out there is happy and healthy. Now, with all of that said, let's go ahead and slide on these topics. And the first thing I want to discuss is this situation that's going down with Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion. So apparently, Kelsey's bodyguard has come out and he's singing a different tune. He's saying that Kelsey is responsible for putting a slug in Megan, and it wasn't Tory. So this really looks bad for Megan Thee Stallion, also Rock Nation, and the fact that Tory was just knifed up just a couple of days ago makes you believe that Rock Nation was behind this because they knew that this information was about to surface. You know what I'm saying? So there was a press conference on yesterday, and I want you guys to check out what Mr. Roberts had to say about this whole ordeal.
Not long ago, Unite the People was approached by a gentleman named Bradley James. Mr. James informed us he was working as the bodyguard and driver for Ms. Kelsey Harris during Mr. Peterson's trial. As such, he was in close proximity and he had privy to conversations she was having with her husband and others. Mr. James informed us he was not under a non-disclosure agreement or a confidentiality agreement and was free to speak with Unite the People, and that he was doing it because his conscience would not let him not speak and leave a man in prison for something he did not do.
Right.
Mr. James informed Unite the People that he was witness to the conversation Ms. Harris had, where she stated she fired it 3 times. Mr. Peterson grabbed her arm and knocked it down, and the fired 2 more times. In essence, Mr. Peterson never shot anybody, never even touched that, never fired. This statement aligns with the statement of the only non-party witness to the case, Mr. Sean Kelly, who at trial testified he saw 2 women fighting, 2 men break up the fight, 1 man grabbed the other one's arm. Shots came from the passenger side. The passenger side is where Ms. Harris was sitting. This further iterates that Mr. Peterson did not shoot Miss Pete, did not shoot at Miss Pete, or did not assault Pete. It's just another irregularity in a list of irregularities in this case. For example, there were 3 potential suspects in the car that night, and yet the only DNA sample was taken of Mr. Peterson, even though unknown DNA was found on. Why wasn't Miss Harris's DNA taken? Or was it taken and the information simply never given to the defense? Why wasn't the driver of the car, Mr. Jaquan Smith's DNA taken? Or was it taken and again, simply not given to the defense?
All right, so you guys just heard all of that. Now, my question is, if the bodyguard of Kelsey's talked about this information or presented this information not long ago, then why didn't Tory's team present this information?
I was wondering the same thing. Why did it take so long? And then once he gets, yinked up in prison. Now it's coming out. It's like it was like somebody planned it, like they knew that he was about to get out or something like that, and they decided to like try to take him out before he got out of prison. I don't, y'all come to your own conclusion with that one, but drop it down in the comments if y'all know what it is.
Information to the public as soon as they got it from the bodyguard. Why now? I mean, I can understand the dynamic of Tory getting knifed up in prison could have prompted this swift response, but it would have been a lot more swifter and a lot more appropriate if you released this information as soon as the bodyguard told you about this.
Right.
Now, when I look at this situation in its totality, I've come to the conclusion that Tory Lanez is locked up because he was in possession of a firearm and not the fact that he actually discharged it. I believe that it was easy to frame Tory because he's already a felon and he was in possession of that firearm. And at the end of the day, even though Meg was mad at Kelsey over Tory and the fact that both of them were being intimate with him at the same time, it seems as though that at the end of the day, Megan elected to protect Kelsey. Now, you guys remember that despicable phrase that was used by many men within the melanated community? I don't hear it too much these days, but MOB, money over bees. Well, I personally think in this situation, and what I'm about to say is no disrespect to women. You guys know that I don't come at women like that. But I think that given the situation, with Meg possibly knowing that Kelsey actually is the one that put a slug in her, and if all of this checks out, she applied her own slogan to this, and it's BON, bees over ninjas. Because clearly, if you know that your best friend,
What's going on, y'all? Why is catching up or whatever's going on? Listen,
is the one that's responsible for this, you definitely showed your loyalty to her, even though you know that she violated you in that manner and y'all were fighting over the same dude. So to me, it seems as though that Meg's main objective was to get back at Tory, to make him pay for being disloyal. Now,
look, I wonder, okay, since in my heart now, I find he's, innocent, even though he was proven, they say guilty. But anyway, now that all this has come out, and if it's correct and he gets out because he didn't do anything, I wonder, I don't know how that lawsuit is going that Meg had against the YouTuber, right? I wonder if the YouTuber paid her, I wonder if she got to pay her back. You know what I'm saying? Because she was only taking up for Tory, trying to show everybody that Tory was innocent. But I don't know how that case is going. I have not been following it. But if you know anything about that case, put it in the comments so I can look up that content creator. Just figure it out for myself, okay? Sorry, y'all.
A lot of people are discussing the fact that Chris Brown jumped on Instagram and posted to his story, and basically he just said free Tory. Now, I believe that Chris Brown has always been in Tory's corner as it pertains to this, and I believe the two of them are good friends. He's even helped Tory out financially with his legal fees, but at the end of the day, it's going to be interesting to see how all of this plays out. And does this information coming from Kelsey's former bodyguard change things? Does this lead to the release of Tory Lanez? We'll just have to sit back and watch, right? But anyway, let's move along and let's talk about the Diddy trial. So we know that Suge Knight and Diddy have quite the history, right? They were friends at one time, then they turned to foes and things of that nature. And then ever since, everything went downhill, right? Now, Suge was on News Nation and he gave his...
Yes, he was on News Nation, and before he even speaks, y'all, Suge knows stuff, but he ain't perfect. Because what he says on this don't make any freaking sense. And no, I don't think Trump is going to pardon him. He's going to just be on the phone calls probably just like you are. Okay, Suge? That's what I think. That's what I think, people.
His thoughts of how this trial is going to go. I want you guys to take a listen to what Suge Knight had to say.
I still feel that Puffy's gonna be all right and have a fair shot at it because Puffy he's not a dummy. And I'm quite sure somebody's gonna talk to those jurors and convince one or two of them, and that's all you need is one. So at the end of the day, it's gonna be a real exciting situation, but I think he's gonna be all right.
Sure. Do you think he's gonna be all right because someone's gonna tamper with the jury? Is that what you're trying to say?
He got enough influence, and I'm quite sure. Don't seem like the prosecution is that bad against him. Don't seem like I think he got some favors with the government. I think they're going to show him a little leeway. It might not seem like it when it's all said and done, but I don't think he has nothing to worry about. I don't think he's worried because he's going to be federal. And if he gets convicted, Trump's going to pardon him. So what's the worry?
You think the president of the United States would pardon Sean Combs for trafficking?
Pardon Michael Harris, who allegedly a teenager or had him. So they don't care about that. It's all about, what's in it for the long run and what the Bucks say.
And also, what color is Michael Harris? Because I don't know Michael Harris. So if y'all know, let me know. But anyway, I don't think Trump, no. Suge Knight, he's going to be sitting right wherever you are on your phone, he's going to have line 2, okay? He's going to have line 2.
What's the power the people want?
Suge, I got to tell you, I can't argue with your eyes on the situation because you lived it and you understand the dynamics. And I appreciate you going through all the hoops to call us and weigh in on this.
All right, so you guys heard what Suge had to say. Basically, he says that he feels like Diddy is going to be okay and that he's ultimately going to get off. Now, that's the sentiment that I'm hearing from people that are close on the ground covering the Diddy trial. A lot of people are saying that Diddy's team is so strong that they don't see how he doesn't get out of this. But at the end of the day, there are curveballs that could be thrown every which way, and Diddy could see his fate and ultimately go to prison, right? But anyway, let's shift the conversation to Cassie taking a stand on yesterday, and she revealed a lot more. Now, I do want to bring this up, and I know this is just a small, minute piece of information that she talked about on the stand, but remember, I told you guys, and I'm looking for the actual video. Like I told you all, I'm by myself. I do everything myself, but I'm trying to find the video when I told you guys, but those of you who follow me tight, when there was this settlement, right, this $30 million settlement that Cassie was seeking, I told you guys that Cassie only got $20 million, and that came from my plug. And she got on the stand yesterday and admitted that. So Diddy only gave her $20 million, and of course Cassie accepted that, but it wasn't the full.
It ain't no damn only 20 million. I don't care. Like she said, she just wanted to be seen. I mean, she just wanted to be seen and heard. She wanted him to see what he had put her through. So she wrote the book. Yeah, and then when they said, shoot, no, you didn't write that. You didn't really write that book. Nobody believes you anyway. Nobody will believe you anyway. Stuff like that. So she just picked a number. She said 30. She could have said 50 and he'd have settled for 40, right? I don't know. Just guessing. But 20 million, it ain't no only. That's a lot of money.
30 or the 40 or the 50 that people were running around on the internet saying. But anyway, the biggest takeaway for me on yesterday as it pertains to this trial is the fact that Jonathan Oddie has now entered the chat. So Cassie acknowledged that she knew who Jonathan Oddie was. We know that Jonathan Oddie told us that he was Diddy's SEX, SLAVE. And so he also talked about the fact that he settled or signed an NDA with Diddy for $5 million. He said that Diddy gave him, or he was in a setting where he contracted HERPES and things like that. Now, we're also privy to the fact that Jonathan Oddie pew-pewed up the Trump National Durrell Golf Club in Miami on May 18th, 2018, and he was ultimately arrested, and I believe he suffered a few shots to the legs too. And also, if my memory serves me correct, I believe that Jonathan suffered suffered a broken arm at the scene. But anyway, like I said, the NDA that Jonathan Oddie signed, it has now been exposed. And his ex-wife, who's an attorney, Tanya Troutwine, I believe that's how you pronounce it, told the Daily Mail that the timing of the contract coincided with their divorce. And she said that Jonathan was rushing to finalize their divorce because he had came into all of this money. So Jonathan filed for divorce back in August of 2014. And according to his ex-wife, Jonathan went from being in debt to purchasing all of these properties in Florida for like $765,000. So apparently Jonathan had a lot of information on Diddy, that Diddy was afraid of getting out. And Jonathan alluded to the fact that there were people always following him and that he was afraid for his life. Guys, I want you to check out this clip where he talks about recording when he got together with Diddy and Cassie using a USB stick.
Or why did you decide to record or video?
Because after she passed out, I decided to record that. So in the event anything worse happened, like if she died, or anybody died, it will be on camera, it will be on video, what happened. So I wouldn't be responsible for any of that.
So you were beginning to worry about her doing, like about her dying or him dying or somebody dying from this, and that you would be held responsible. So you brought a video. You brought your phone?
No, I had a USB video memory stick done like spy shot, and I put it in the water on the table, in the living room table of the hotel I was staying at. I just filmed it, and had everything described, and it had her threatening me. But he was telling her what to say. They had an argument. When I left, I knew they were paranoid. So I wanted to guarantee my safety. So I texted him and said, hey, if anything happens to me, I got evidence I'm being with you. At the settlement table, there was a lot of irregularities, okay? Mm-hmm. It was my first settlement. So they brought me in, and Diddy had a t-shirt with two men in ski masks pointing, making gun signs, okay? Mm-hmm. And it was black and white, and it had a red frame, okay? But that's the way he operates. He communicates, threatening you, like saying, I'm going to have you.
So Odie says to prevent the recording from going public, that's what he was just talking about. Diddy had him sign an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, in exchange for $5 million in hush money. This was in 2014. The Daily Mail ran a screenshot of what appears to be a signature page signed by Sean Combs and Odie. We have not been able to obtain the document or verify its contents or authenticity, nor have we been able to verify the existence of the video that you heard him talking about. Now, according to Daily Mail's report, the timing coincided with a spending spree by Odie of Florida real estate, and it also coincided with Odie's divorce. His ex-wife tells the Daily Mail that she found out about his windfall only.
Sorry, y'all. Sorry. But what do y'all think about this? I didn't know that, really. This is my first time hearing that he filmed the thing. Now I knew about the interrogation because Tisa Tails broke that a couple years ago, right? And nobody believed and thought she was crazy. But you see now it's all true. But as far as him having that whatever USB, I didn't even know you could record on it. Boy, I tell you, Johnson, he's a smart now. He's smart.
After their split.
All right, so you guys heard what Jonathan had to say about the situation. He definitely covered his own ASS just in case somebody tried to do something. to him. He made sure that he had evidence that would link back to Diddy, and that was smart. And this is the thing. I also commend him for actually setting up shop and recording everything, because he was worried about Cassie's safety. And although he mentioned that he was worried about Diddy's safety as well, I think ultimately Jonathan had a high level of concern about how Cassie would fare through all the turmoil that she was going through, if we're going to keep it all the way.
That's what I'm thank you, Tough News TV. Thank you. Another fellow North Carolinian. I thank you so much, because yeah, everybody seems to be worried about Cassie. All the escorts and stuff like that. Everybody that came across those two, they were worried about Cassie. Yo, I mean, okay. And this was 2014, whatever. Well, I forgot the year. Yeah.
Way above. But anyway, I want to move along and share with you some explosive news that was passed on to me on yesterday. I was talking to somebody that's a real journalist, no YouTubers, right? And that's no shade to them. Do your thing and get your money. But I'm talking to real journalists that have connections to real media networks. Okay. Now, with all of that said, allegedly, the prosecution team has now gotten their hands on 2 tapes that come from Kim Porter's archives, right? And these 2 tapes contain Kim Porter visibly on these videos herself admitting certain things that transpired during her relationship with Diddy. I'm told that these tapes contain information from Deletion for Hire. You guys know I'm paraphrasing there. You just insert the M word there. I'm also told that these tapes express multiple instances of R, all right, involving women and men, all right, and young men to be exact. And get this, y'all, this is pretty heavy. I'm also told that there's admission in regard to the sacrificing of CHILDREN, and also it contains many secrets of the Black Boule, which is a secret society of Black powerful Hollywood men. Also, there are Black powerful women that are included into this club, like Oprah, Beyonce, and etc., right? And there's so much more that I can express here, but I'm trying to find a way to figure out how to convey it to you guys without it coming across too sinister and demonic. But I'm gonna just draw the line right here, and I want you guys to feel free to drop down in the.
Y'all look, Cassie even said, like, whenever she wears her hair swooped, she got a black eye or a gash. Okay, because she has been hitting so hard, the darn meat was out. So yeah. Even for that, he deserves to go away, y'all. Come on.
Comments to let me know about what you think as it pertains to everything that I discussed in this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and if you're new here, consider subbing to the channel. I'll get with you guys later. Yep.
Sorry about that. Okay, right on time. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for coming to Valentine TV. Don't forget, if you'd like to donate anything, the Cash App is right there. Please subscribe and thumbs up the video. I appreciate it, and I'll be back in a little bit, okay? Thank y'all so much.